wanted to do a quick but informative video of the 10 things that caused me to get 2Ds in my foundations class in my Intro to Logic course this past semester. So I'm going to be really quick and I'm just going to go down the list and explain about each particular item. 1. Pseudo-studying. So I would do this thing where I would read the textbook and I would take notes and I would watch the videos, but I wasn't really processing any of the information. I was just going through the motions of studying, and this was just not efficient in order for me to actually understand the material. Plus, I really wouldn't do it the way I should have done it. I would do it just like after some time had passed, after I should have watched the lectures and done all this other stuff, and I was coming closer to like the exam or an assignment, and that's when I would do it. So kind of to prepare myself for it, but I should have prepared way in advance. And yeah, so pseudo studying is one thing. It's not like really intentional. It's just kind of like me not really being aware of what I'm doing. 2, not tracking my time. So I would be big on planners, writing information on planners, writing when things were due, assignments, quizzes, tests, stuff like that, but I would never go back to the planner and actually plan my day with that knowledge. I would really not even look at the planner once I wrote everything down for like the month or the semester or whatever the case may be. So I had these planners, but I would never open them and use them and actually utilize them in the way you should use planners. So that was another key thing that I did. Number 3, not clearing up misunderstandings. So for me, what that means is, okay, so after you take an exam, what do you do when you get your grade? Do you go to the professor and make sure you understand that material? In my case, I never did. So I would never go back to tutors or, professors or anything to review all the stuff that I've missed, all the stuff that was difficult for me, and making sure that I understood it. And that can really affect you because your grades usually go down. They don't get higher, especially if you're not learning things that are kind of cumulative in nature. Number 4, planning on top of priorities. So one thing I would do was once I had my set plan, I knew when I had to study, let's say between 2 to 6, I knew I had to sit down and focus and study and work on problem sets. Someone would call me and, be like, oh, can you do this or whatever? And then I would go ahead and, plan with them to do something, even though I already had priorities set. I already had things that I was going to do. And this caused a lot of conflict because I could have finished assignments, but I chose to do something with other people without realizing that I had assignment due at 6. And that's why I was studying from 2 to 6 so I can finish that assignment. And I would go ahead and hang out and realize I missed that opportunity. I missed easy points. Number 5, not familiarizing myself with my course prior to the lecture. So this is pretty self-explanatory. Things like reading the book, taking notes even, but really trying to understand the concepts in the books, trying to understand what it is that lecture is all about prior to attending the lecture. That helps you to kind of repeatedly see the material. So that's really important, and I never really did that. Believing that I was capable of learning. Now, that was a toughie because oftentimes all these bad habits that I had made it really difficult to understand material. Even material that was not really complicated, but for me it seemed complicated because I wasn't following up and reviewing notes or making sure I really understood the concepts. And so simple things often looked really complicated and way over my head. So that was one of the big things that I did that I really regretted for that this past semester. Not doing active studying. So basically active studying to me is like doing problem sets, creating mind maps, using flashcards, doing anything that taps into your active recall, talking aloud, making sure you understand the material and you can have a long kind of conversation over the material that you studied. Basically, you're trying to test yourself before you test yourself. You want to try to make sure that you understand the material before you're being tested. That basically does the same thing. So try to learn as much as you can with actual studying instead of fake studying. Number 8, wasting time surfing the web, watching videos, and sleeping. So oftentimes I would oversleep, and then I'd be super tired. So then I'd watch videos or surf the web because I was tired and I didn't feel like studying. That damaged my my abilities to catch up because I use up all my time doing those things instead of preparing for a test or an assignment or whatnot. Number 9, going to bed too late. So no matter what your sleep cycle is like, if you think you can sleep at 3 o'clock in the morning, the point is you want to be consistent. You want to have the maximum amount of sleep for you to be highly functioning. So you're not forgetting anything. You're not making simple mistakes or anything like that. Whatever time frame that is for you, just make sure it's consistent and you're not going to sleep late, whatever that is for you. Not pushing myself. That's the final thing that I have here that I think I did that really affected my ability to get good grades. I didn't push myself. I didn't try to go over and beyond and learn the material and try to test things out. I had a coding class, so I didn't really code on my own or anything. Heck, half the time I didn't even code for the assignments until it was last minute. So I really didn't push myself, and I feel like if you're in school, it's all about pushing yourself. It's all about seeing how far you can go and what novel things you can come up with. So that's it for today. I want to do another kind of like a follow-up video of the 10 things that I will do for next semester to get good grades. So I guess I'll see you guys then.